Lesson 18, Debt and Default. What is debt? Debt is the instrument that is created when one party lends money to another party. Now, example, Phil Knife Company borrows $1 million from John. John owns a debt instrument worth $1 million. Phil Knife Company has $1 million of debt. Autocorrect is not doing so good. Okay. The debt carries an interest rate of 5%, which is low because the debt is secured to all of Phil Knife Company's assets. The secured assets are called collateral. So, secured means that if something goes bad, the lender will take all of the stuff from the company. So John's loan is secured by this factory. The factory is collateral. Now, secured debt. Secured debt is debt that has some security. If the borrower doesn't pay back the loan, the lenders, which are called secured debt holders, can take the company's assets as specified in the loan documents. The loan documents are called the indenture. So Phil Knife Company is expanding this year. This autocorrect is driving me nuts on this thing. I gotta change that. I don't know how though. Okay, it already has $1 million of senior secured debt. It wants to buy a new factory for $5 million. So it needs more secured debt. So John has lots of money. So he buys another tranche of debt from Phil Knife Company, totaling an additional $5 million at a rate of 7%. Now, a tranche, or however you want to pronounce it, is one piece of the total debt from the same type of debt, and it's the same offering. So John likes security in his investment, so he bought another tranche of debt. Subordinated debt. Subordinated debt, or subordinated bonds, come after the senior debt. The subordinated debt can claim some assets, but not specified assets. It's just whatever is left after senior debt holders are paid out in full. That's why it's subordinated. It comes after. So Phil Knife Company puts on more debt to buy an apple orchard to feed its workers. Strange idea. It puts on $1 million of subordinated debt secured against general assets after senior debt holders are paid out at an interest rate of 12%. So we have to pay 12% of $1 million. So we have to pay $120,000 in interest every year. And the debt is secured against general assets of the company after these senior debt holders are paid out. Now, a group of investors buys this debt. These apples are going to be expensive, that's for sure. Now, mezzanine, junk, junior, unsecured. Mezzanine, junior, junk, or unsecured are all the terms for the lowest level of debt that usually becomes worthless upon bankruptcy. Usually the company will not use the word junk in naming bonds and will pick something intriguing like a mezzanine. Ooh, that sounds nice, but it's not. So Phil Knife Company starts advertising for new customers, so it raises some money. It takes on $5.5 million in junior unsecured debt to buy advertisements on TV. Very risky. The interest rate on this debt is 15% because it is highly speculative and secured by nothing. That's a high interest rate. Very little security in this debt offering. Bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is a legal term with broad meanings in different countries. However, it usually means the situation where a company cannot pay its bills due to no cash on hand. The company must then restructure under a bankruptcy law. Phil Knife Company's advertising failed completely because the ads were played at a bad time. The company has no cash. It declared bankruptcy on August 20th, 2011, and is expected to release a proposal to the judge on September 1st, 2011, as to how to restructure the company. The judge will either approve the plan or not. And we have default. Now, default means that a company cannot pay the interest payments on its debt. It doesn't mean the company has no cash. It just means they can't pay the interest payment. The company can have cash and make profit, but is unable to pay the full interest amount on its debt. So here's an example. Phil Knife Company pays $350,000 per year on the second tranche of John's secured bonds. However, the company cannot pay this year's interest because it must pay the legal fees on its bankruptcy filing. It is expected that the company will not pay the $500,000 junk loan and will be making a profit of $500,000 in 2012 and will be able to pay the full interest on John's bonds in 2012. The company is technically in default as of today because it is missing a year of interest payments. The technical default doesn't mean John loses all of his money. He may lose only one interest payment, right? So then we get to the issue of secured asset claims. Claiming assets that are secured as part of the debt is something that happens during bankruptcy proceedings. So John, if the company's in default and I can't pay the interest, if the bond indenture, the bond documents say that he gets to take the company assets, he can do that under the law. So here's another example. The recession has caused Phil Knife Company to lose $50,000 per month. The company cannot pay any interest on the loans. The company is in default of all loans. John made claims over the factory as written in the bond indenture. The other investors made a claim over the orchard. The judge approved the claims, and John owns the factory while the others own the orchard. So, investing with security is less risky than having no security at all.